stopping and
2 hours?
starting?
It's going to be like a 10-minute, 10, 15, however long we need till we get to the Sabbie
We have a lot
results.
of content.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
You do?
Yeah,
Then
we've just
chat
discussed
about
it.
Figures and results will put
Yeah.
it right at the very top of the screen.
Okay, sweet. That'd be
right
awesome.
there.
Okay, sweet. That's good. Thank you.
Can you be responsible for all of those
Yeah,
sorts of things?
I'll do all that stuff.
And I'll
If
just-
you
and
wanna,
I'll just,
yeah,
like,
you
interact with
engage
guys
the panel and I'll do it.
Say
Yeah.
you talk.
So we're gonna start with the. I think rather than point to who talk, I just think you should just say a point. Like,
Yeah,
rather than-
all of us do.
Oh no, because I'll probably be like, if someone's talking for a long time, I might just be like, oh, Chris, what do you think? Rather than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut me off because I can get quite
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, dang.
Are you're gonna introduce the panel, yeah?
Yeah, so it's Josh Bendel from Expression. Is that what I can refer to you as?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Fulsell, former XTV station manager. Do you still go here?
Yeah. Oh no, I just turned up. I've got a masters here. And
Okay.
I sort of lurk around XTV stuff.
Look.
He's a master's student and former XTV station manager. Josh Bendel, Expression senior head of news. Is that you?
I'm not head of news.
What are you?
I am
What are you?
a member of the news team. Yeah.
So Josh Bendel from Expression FM, and Ellen Oakes, subject chair for English, co-president of the English Society,
Represent
And
academic,
academic-
societies because that's how I'm guilty.
and what is your title?
I'm the society's
I think you've been one up
officer for
by
the I'm the society's executive for the academic and employability societies.
Just say.
I
From the
represent
guild.
the academic and
the guild.
employability
From the
Sorry,
guild,
it's
we
gonna
have
be
Ellen
a-
Oakes.
Put you off the whole broadcast.
Don't.
You just see me on like certain days. Where
I
I'm
have
just,
no
like,
idea.
guilty.
Like
Why am
this
I
is
sat
bizarre.
in Why am I sat in this
So
chair,
funny.
which is like the interaction?
This morning, this whole day has been ridiculous.
Last year we were all running
Dino.
around like an hour and
She is
Co-directed.
a
This is a walk in the
busy
park.
woman.
Like, just calm down.
Were you there?
A busy
for
woman she
US?
is.
No.
Oh my god, it was crazy.
You were born for live TV, Reese.
I had such a good time.
Yeah, that was really fun. It was all you lot like
11-year-old
chilling
me
in
was
there.
born for live TV.
Start down our schedule went to their schedule. However, last year they were really, really fast.
Should we just start?
now?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, everyone happy?
But they're fun.
It's going to be
luck.
fine, isn't
We
it?
did last year though, we ended up all shouting.
Did they shout at each other?
No, this was broadcast when they got late. People like really late. And then something went wrong halfway through. We were like, so for like ages.
I'm just not going to say anything that could have an opinion.
I liked how cozy that the media suite was for the American election. Everyone was just on there.
No, results are in. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I
Apart
know.
from swearing.
I won't swear.
I don't think you can.
Get it out now.
I still don't think you can, if I remember code of conduct. you
Defamation.
can't- Yeah, you can't defame a candidate either.
Oh, I won't. Don't worry. I have no one to defame.
You can't call Pete Pervy Pete
No.
because that was defamation.
But we're live. I'm kidding.
Okay, right, yeah.
Your face.
Hi, Mum.
My mum doesn't know what to do. I really need to not swear.
Can we finish? No, we can't do that, can we?
Please, no, I think the sound guys are going to lose it
Yeah.
and drop those mics.
If I just stare down the lens for the whole broadcast and don't say anything, is that fine?
Yeah, sure, freak them out.
Is that okay, Tara?
Welcome to the guild
Give them a
election.
weird look.
It looks a bit like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So.
Right. Are we live?
I'm stressed. I'm so stressed.
gonna tell us
I can't
when
believe
we're
why we're doing
Right.
this.
They're gonna
Why do
tell
we always get ourselves into these situations, Reese?
This is really deep in my ear. This is kind of hurting.
Just give up now.
Oh, that's all right. I just.
Were you going over YouTube or Janet?
Huh?
Are we going over YouTube or
I
Janet?
think so.
Cool.
I
So
honestly-
no one's actually going to be
honestly,
watching
I
this.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's Facebook Living as well.
Okay, I'm going to
Is
count
it now?
down from 10 and then go into the thingy and then we're going to cut to panel.
Cheers, Alicia.
So after this, you're going to do that, yeah?
Yes.
Have a bogey.
Do what?
Actually, you've got some in your teeth. On lunch.
The good thing is they're really fuzzy, so if you've got...
If you wrap it.
So, after weeks of preparation, hundreds of hours spent on Forum Hill, with perhaps even thousands of fresh baked goods given out, it all ends tonight as we find out the winners of the Exeter 2017 Sabbatical elections.
Hello and welcome to Exeter Vote Live.
I'm Reese Fitzgerald,
And I'm Tara Jennett.
And we are here live in DH1 at the XTV Election Hub.
So the main 5 votes are not going to be announced until 8 o'clock tonight, but there's plenty of other awards, so we're going to be introducing them throughout the night.
So these include the informally known Sabby Awards, which commend the hard work of all those in the campaign teams who've been supporting everybody on Forum Hill across the week, as well as the DVP results and the student trustee and NUS delegate of results.
We'll be sure to keep you updated.
Cool. So we are joined here today by our panel. To begin with, we have Ellen Noakes, who is the Academic and Employability
Society's executive.
Oh, as part of the guild, how exciting. And is also the subject chair for English and the co-president of the English Society.
Yes, I'm
So
very busy.
a very busy woman you are. Cool. We also have Josh Bendel, who is from the Expression News team. And we also have Chris Filsell, who is a master's student and is the former XTV station manager.
I'll never leave.
Okay, so voting is actually up from last year with a record vote this year with 8,607 votes. So that is 39% of the entire student population. Why do you guys think that the vote has gone up this year?
I'm not sure. It's an interesting one. The guild actually set a target for 8,500. Right, that was a 300 votes increase on last year, allowing for student increase around the whole country. I think that this year the campaign has been quite noticeably moving online, and in that sense can reach a lot more people. Students coming up and down the hill, they haven't actually been accosted as much as previous years. The fact that we had rugby varsity and an open day on Wednesday and a really rainy day on Tuesday means that there hasn't been a lot of presence, physical presence, but the online element of it might have encouraged a lot of people to vote. And I think also the promotion, the Guild have done a really good job promoting voting and pushing that forward.
Yeah, perhaps even like the current political situation in America and like the impact of like the vote of the 2016 year, I think has really like pushed people to push student democracy, push democracy in general, because people have actually seen like the power of a voice, and I think that's it's important despite maybe the slightly negative connotations of last year.
I think as well, like, we've had more candidates kind of this year. Generally, you know, you've got more candidates. These things are backed by campaign teams who get people to vote by word of mouth. More people are going to vote. I also think as well, there's been a joke campaign this year, which has obviously engaged a lot of people, either positively or negatively, in terms of voting. Some people are voting for this joke campaign in a sort of a, oh, well, I don't vote, but I'll vote for this because of whatever. And I think we have to kind of, we're not going to know till the results come in how effective that's actually been on turnout.
No, very true, very true.
Yeah, also there's been more female voters than male voters. Do you think that's a reaction to the all-male sub-team, or do you think it's something
I
different?
don't know, I'm always a bit cautious about bringing up the fact that it's been an all-white male sub-team, right? There's not necessarily a lot of diversity within this year's SAB committee. However, the year before that was, mainly women. So I don't think that drawing upon that is that much of an issue. I do think that the people running this year, there's, I believe, a high proportion of women than there are men, and therefore, as Chris said, the fact that all these campaign teams have the support around them, then I think that might have increased. But I don't know what the statistics are actually.
I think it's almost more important that there's a sort of gender balance in the people, in the candidates, in the people putting themselves up to vote, which shows that there's not sort of a gender imbalance in the opportunities that Exeter gets to offer.
Which is why it's really interesting that this year you've got several international students running. Now, wasn't it Shades? Put it in her
Shadra
manifesto.
Chowdhury.
Yeah, she put it in. She put it in her manifesto video. Our first ever international student. The fact of the matter is that we've created an environment where people from abroad who've just come here, who aren't actually part of the UK, and women and men all feel comfortable to run for the same positions, all feel capable, and that's a really, really good sign of where we are as a university.
So actually, first years are the highest number of voters with 3,244 votes made by them. Did you guys vote in your first year?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Has it changed much since the first year of campaigning?
Yeah, well, I didn't care last year. I was the first year, and I just wanted to get it out of the way, and I wanted to be able to go up Forum Hill being like I've already voted, so as a way of just getting them.
I think there are people on Cardiac Hill in Berks when I was walking up there,
Wow.
which was a commitment in first year.
Yeah, definitely.
I must admit as well, like, if you're a first year and you've joined a society, you do typically, like, and you're involved in that society and someone runs from that society, you do typically end up just engaging more than kind of like maybe a disaffected second or third year would. If you're trying a lot of more things, you're going to be more exposed to candidates in a weird kind of way.
And that's the thing. I mean, as a third year, how much do you actually, in a way, care? these SABs aren't actually going to do anything for them in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
When I looked
apart from
earlier-
postgrad and-
Yeah.
When I looked earlier, it was the proportion of second years was actually the lowest proportion. I'm not sure if that stayed the same, but I think that's quite interesting how that second years were more reluctant to vote, maybe when they're the ones that are actually going to be directly effective. Supposedly third years have a lot of people running.
Yeah,
There
but
is,
that's
the,
the
there is the
difference.
novelty
Right.
factor as well.
Yeah.
Of, ooh, I've never done this thing before, etc., etc. And if
Yeah.
you don't feel that there's been that much change through your vote, I'm not saying whether there is or not, why would you then choose to vote again, sort of?
It would be interesting to see how many first-year students voted last year, and
Yeah,
how many
definitely.
second-year students this
Continue
year.
to vote.
Right,
Oh,
the
okay.
I think
continuation
it's
of the
it's
votes.
interesting to look at the cohort themselves and to see as they
Exactly.
move through
Yeah.
university,
You know.
how whether they stay engaged, become more engaged across that. So I guess how has the campaigning that you've noticed changed since your first years? So
I think
you-
the way people talk to people on the Hill has
Yeah.
definitely changed.
Yeah, definitely.
You see an active sort of. The typical thing used to be that you would walk someone down the hill and campaign
Yeah.
to them. You've seen a version to doing that across the board of people more doing sort of these, as you were saying earlier, these online campaigns, but also these more like visual campaigns. Like there was brass outside earlier. Things like there's been brownie giveaways on stands more than there has been things like I'm going to follow you down the hill and talk to you, because that doesn't work.
And some of the campaign teams have been told don't approach people. So actually, Pete Gillibrand's team have been told don't approach people, but be visible. So smile.
That we haven't seen in previous
Absolutely.
years,
Yeah.
and the things that are really widespread beyond the university and beyond the SAB's control, like freezing house prices and tuition fees and things like that, they aren't in the
they're
SAB.
very, very bold.
Yeah,
claims.
very bold.
I think what you need to reevaluate there, though, in a sense, is do people know really, the difference between the guild and the university?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they vote, you see a lot of people all the time saying, "What's the guild done for me?" The guild, I've heard like, "Oh, the guild raised tuition fees." I mean, that's not true.
No.
But the fact is, you've got candidates running who think that they're running to be CEO of the university or etc. etc.
I mean, at the same time, though, we do have a current education VP for education, Harry Reeve, who supports TEF, which actually allows for the increase of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the TEF now or later?
Can
Can I get ready?
I'm sure we'll come on to TEF
Definitely.
very shortly, as it is obviously such a big issue that's going to affect all of us. Because
Yeah.
if we do get that gold standard, then
Yes. It's going to
Yeah.
mean various implications.
well,
for the uni.
why don't we start with TEF? Why don't we have a look?
Should we
across
jargon
the
bust
different
it?
areas? So what is TEF?
TEF is I know this because of my facility as subject chair. I sit on many meetings, including the Student Partnership Board, which is a big meeting with the heads of education and Harry Reeve, and we all talk about the implications of the wider decisions the university is making. The TEF is the Teaching Excellence Framework, and it's a new sort of statistic that's being used I think it's been implemented across many universities.
Yeah.
It accumulates lots of different statistics like the NSS, the destination for higher education leavers, and a 15-page document that universities have to write and submit. Universities will then be graded bronze, silver or gold. If you get a gold rating, implication is that university just for because we're the people who are paying for our education.
And that will be the biggest obstacle that whoever gets voted in for
Definitely.
VP education is actually going to have to face.
Yeah.
So you're speaking about the difference between the guild and uni. So how much power do SABs actually have?
I think a lot more than people actually realise.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, the university gets a lot of criticism of seeing us as customers and nothing but. But at the end of the day, the university is made up of us, and there's
Yeah.
the guilds represent us. So you do see the impact of their work throughout every single area. So yeah, they've got a huge amount of power, and that needs to be used.
I guess as the old adage goes, with great power comes great responsibility.
Definitely. I just think that the guild should be the SABs, not the guild. That's quite a large term. The SABs should be responsible to directly conveying most of their moves regarding huge issues like the TEF to the students directly. There should be an email, there should be bulletins. If people want this information, they should be readily accessible.
And not just that either. You know what I mean? Like, they are elected to represent the students. What a SAB should never be. A bad SAB is a mouthpiece for the university. A good SAB is a SAB who takes students' views into consideration and articulates them to the union, articulates them to the university. What will never be good for this university and what will never be good for this guild are SABs that do the job, you know what I mean, just to a sort of a,
definitely.
I'm here to da-da-da. There's no one currently a SAB or no one running for a SAB who I think does that, but I'm saying we should never, you know what I mean, the SAB should always be knowing that they represent
Yeah.
At the
us.
same time, we put them under a huge amount of scrutiny and pressure. I do think that students also need to take control of their university and their representation. They've got a voice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we talk about it being available to see what they're doing, making them accountable. If you actually look on the Guild website, it's actually quite easy to find out what they've done, what the previous manifestos were.
Definitely. The SABs not acting as just a mouthpiece of the university and instead holding the views of the students that they represent. So moving, I guess, to Guild President, Ed Mudd. Can Ed Mudd really represent us?
In a way, what's interesting about Ed Mudd is, in a way, he does represent people who are disenfranchised with the guild. And to use the obvious comparison, just as Donald Trump represents people who are disenfranchised with the government to varying degrees, as we've seen since January 20th, Ed Mudd, in a weird way, as we saw at the debate, you know what I mean? Like, Ed Mudd was being grilled extensively at the debate. And the crowd were laughing at him. The crowd were laughing with him, weren't they? They weren't laughing at him. A lot of the time, the crowd were on his side.
I think it also stems with the changing campaign this year. People have been reluctant to approach people on the Hill because people are, it seems, are disenfranchised with the SABs and the campaign week as a process. And I think that the Guild has to recognise there is this change and that there is this problem.
Yeah.
Maybe in 5 years' time there won't be people sitting here having this conversation. Maybe the whole of the Guild system will be revamped because of this change in student democracy.
And I think his campaign is interesting in a way because it's, you can say his policies, his manifesto is a joke. In a way, his campaign hasn't been a joke. It's got a Facebook page, it's got lots of likes. If you go on the smash cut video edit they did of all his zingers in the debate, it was a very popular video. It was shared.
I mean, just look
it's
at the
a well
memes.
managed.
Yeah.
It's a well managed campaign in a weird way.
At the same time, not to be the killjoy of the whole thing. I know it's a very funny campaign, all that kind of stuff, but these SABs have a lot of responsibility in their hands. Welfare and diversity are looking after the well-being of our students, and also the feeling that they belong to this university, right? I mean, not only that, the Guild president is looking after campaigns such as Never Okay. These are not joke campaigns.
No.
And at the end of the day, it's very good to say us students were disenfranchised, but I do think that Ed took it too far in basically undermining the work that a lot of people have done, undermining the pressure that a lot of these people are under, and the time and the effort on these very crucial issues that require seriousness, require work. So we can laugh about it, but I do think that we need to reinvigorate the seriousness of what actually happens.
I'd like to outline very quickly. I don't support Ed Mudd. I didn't vote for him. I was merely saying, though, at the same time, you have to. I'm not saying that the issues raised by him, such as a wall, are legitimate issues, but the issue that he, as a candidate, whether consciously or subconsciously, raises about how the student body feels about the Guild, shouldn't be dismissed as a joke, because clearly there is momentum to this campaign. I don't think he's going to come bottom. I don't think he's going to come
It
bottom.
will be interesting, like you said before. What proportion of the votes does he actually get?
He's going to be in top 3.
I'm
calling it right now.
That's a bold claim.
I think he's going to be in top 3.
Talking about the smash cuts, like all these videos, do you think now there's more of an emphasis on the Facebook video rather than the actual?
Absolutely.
It stems from Toby Gladwin's campaign last year, who is our current Guild president. I think there's two sides to that coin. I think that. I think if people have the talent and the skills to make these videos, and it showcases student talent, like XTV as a platform which does things like this, I think that is a good thing. And if that adds to people's campaign, then brilliant. However, it shouldn't just be about a flashy video. You should really scrutinise policies. You should really scrutinise candidates' previous experience as well, and what they've done up to this point. That deserves in this role.
And this is why I think Pete Gillibrand's a really good candidate nominee. He's got some good ideas, and he does have the I think the ability to carry some of them out. My only concern is that a lot of people that voted for him, some of them who are my friends, I don't think would be able to tell me one of his manifesto policies, right? It's just based on his marketing, his self-marketing, which has been brilliant.
But this is student politics. It's a microcosm of real politics,
Absolutely.
and the sad reality is we can't say this is exclusive to student elections. This is how voting is changing generally. This is how engagement with politics is changing generally. And if people need to learn, who are putting forward good manifesto points, how to utilise that. You know what I mean? People need to learn, etc., how to actually do things.
Well, that's the thing. We look at the marketing and things behind it, but ultimately the Guild's own policy for these sabbatical elections is that any student can only do as much as another student could reasonably do.
Yes.
So,
But you say that there's never a flat line, is there? You know what I mean? If you
No.
know someone who knows someone who knows someone, I mean, we took in, you know, I mean, without getting too technical, the quality of the camera that last year's video was shot on exceeds the £100 budget limit. Let's just say that straight away. If you don't have access, you know, I mean, some candidates have access to iPhones, some candidates have access to DSLRs, some candidates know people who own nightclubs, etc. This isn't really a fair platform, no matter how you put the money on it.
It's within reasonable limits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think
absolutely.
I do think the Guild do enough to kind of limit campaign money and limit campaign spending. The fact they offer a budget is a good thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't put a price on people's talent.
That's what I mean by that. It's never a level playing field.
But
ever.
James Walcock and James Cunningham, who are the two heads of news of Expression, are actually talking to the Guild at the moment to get the finances of the campaign teams, right? Because we do want to look at the discrepancies between presence and ability based on £100 budget, right? I mean, a lot of the presence of a lot of the teams have greatly must have greatly exceeded that budget. So we are looking into the finances of it.
And it's not necessarily that anyone misspent their budget. I'm sure no one has gone over budget technically. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, that in a way, this is what these elections boil down to. It's who you're connected to, who you know, etc. You can have the best manifesto in the world if you don't know people on this campus.
Yeah.
With all the best will in the world, you know, a lot of people who I think had good manifestos, I don't think are going to win, etc. But I don't think really anyone put in a bad manifesto this year on the converse.
we'll find out.
Because we are hearing the cheers, so it means that the elections are starting downstairs. So we're going to wrap up this conversation and come back a bit later.
Tonight, we'll also be revealing the results of the Sabbies, nominated by yourselves and judged by the sabbatical officers, Students' Guild staff, and of course myself. We have a little... Please make sure that you come up and collect your prize when that is announced. Lastly, I'd just like to inform you all, if you do not already know, that Comida to my left is open this evening for drinks and snacks. We'll be taking 2 short breaks during the evening, so please keep yourself fed and watered. And finally, it's my pleasure to announce Jodie Peters to announce the result of the DVP campaign's election. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Firstly, congratulations to everyone. I'm very proud to announce the results of the first result of the SAB elections 2017. We'll begin by announcing the winner of the elections for DVP campaigns, and the candidates are on this screen. Kamya Gopal and Ron. And the winner is Cam Gopal.
Cause the players gonna play, and my haters gonna hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. Heartbreakers gonna break, and the haters gonna break.
Okay, Cam, congratulations. I'm just going to give you a card, and then you can go on your way. Okay. She doesn't want to do a speech, so I'm not going to make her. Okay. You ready for the next result? Okay. We'll now be announcing the winner of the election for DVP Wellbeing, and the candidates are David Pugh and Ron. And your new DVP Wellbeing is David Pugh.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed?
Congratulations. Okay, David's going to say a few words.
Sorry, just very quickly, I'd like to thank anyone who's voted for me, my campaign team, the Outgoing Guild, and I'll try and meet my manifesto promises. Thank you so much.
Less of that. Good evening, everyone. Great, brilliant. I'm very pleased to announce the winner of the election for DVP Sustainability. So the candidates are Cora Hurley, and I'm going to walk over here so I can pronounce it properly. Alejandra de Bachena Mislep, and I hope and Ron. And the winner is your new Deputy Vice President Sustainability is Cora Hurley. Cool. No words from Cora, but congratulations and all the best. You can keep that.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So I'm going to announce two things right now. First one being a Sabby. This one's for the most engaged subject. Let's do this. Okay. Sociology, philosophy, and anthropology. So anyone here from Salon? Yeah? All right. All right. Moving on. The main position that I'm here to announce for tonight, the new DVP International. As you all know, DVP International is the chair of the International Students' Council and represents all international students in the Guild. Our new elected DVP International is Sophie Stiglitz.
So some of the results are already in, and a lot of the DVP, which is Deputy Vice President, they've been announced. So the first one we've got is the DVP campaigns, which is for the next year will be Kamya Gopal.
And the wellbeing winner is David Pugh.
With sustainability, Cora Hurley.
Cool. So we're going to ask some questions now. So Ella.
With a lot of your work as subject chair for English, surely you must have to interact quite a lot with VP Education. How far does that role go?
It's quite extensive. He sits in, Harry Reeve is our current VP Education, and he sits on a variety of meetings, specifically the Student Partnership Board, which is the highest meeting the subject chairs attend, then the college officers, which is the one position above me, who represents the entire college, so the College for Humanities, they go up one more. So contact is limited, but I'd say that in Harry Reeve's candidacy and his role as VP Education, he's been really approachable, and I think as subject chair you have to take your own initiative. If you have a problem, you can walk into the SAB office and be like, is Harry here, and talk to him about it. I think a lot of the SAB exposure is down to your own initiative as a subject chair. If you need the extra support, you can go get it, and I think all the SABs in general have been really strong with that in my experience this year. They've all stepped up and been around and been helpful whenever we've needed them, and I think that's something that the next year's people can feed in.
Definitely. So building on Harry's great work this year, what is the one thing that you think as subject chair is a policy that perhaps should be implemented across the next year by our next VP Education?
I think what they've tried to do this year is rebrand the SSLC, so all subject chairs have received guild stash courtesy of the guild, which has been brilliant, where they've had a new logo and a new branding on the guild website. However, I don't think that's been extensive enough. I think that could be more pervasive on LE, in lectures, and where people have direct contact with their subject chairs and seminars. And I just think they could be even more pervasive and people knowing who they are, because I think that's the extreme problem. Like Helena Leslie said to me the other day, I was on the Hill and no one knew what the SSLC was, and I think that is a big problem. That
For those who don't know, could you briefly explain what the SSLC actually is?
SSLC is the Student Staff Liaison Committee. Every subject has one, and they meet usually twice a term with their Director of Education to discuss problems that happen within the subject and try and rectify them as quickly as possible. They make active and really positive change within subjects.
And can anyone run to be part of that?
Anyone can run. The nominations for the reps open up in term 3, and first years can be nominated in term 1 when they arrive at Exeter. It's a really positive platform for change, but I think they need more recognition.
Yeah.
And I think that the VP Education candidates can really push that, hopefully in their.
So we have another announcement. So DVP International is Sophie Stiglitz, I think Stiglitz, not sure. But Chris, I know that you are really interested in X Fest and wanting to know what's going to happen to it next year when Tristan is gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the biggest challenge that the next VP activities will face is that Tristan has really changed this role, and I think positively, in all honesty, into not only consolidating and making sure societies are okay, but into an events management role as well. We've seen an increase of events on campus. We're seeing probably the biggest student event we've ever had on campus, a manifesto policy that has been fulfilled, etc. I think what we've got to look at here with our VP activities candidates is not so much what they've done for societies as well, but within those roles that all of them have within their societies, how much they've actually organised events and etc. I think, Tristan has done a marvellous job organising XFest this year. I think the biggest challenge facing VP activities is how do you follow up XFest? Do you keep it? Do you expand it? Etc. etc. What do you learn? And how Tristan has an experience in music PR, he always has. How does someone, he runs Baltimore Festival, again, very well. Yeah. How do you, with no experience in music PR, then organise a music festival on campus next year?
Oh, well, okay,
Definitely.
well, thank you so much for
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for with you guys at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're about to head downstairs.
The Savvy Awards.
The Savvy Awards are being announced.
That's all. Thank you very much. I'm going to hand over to our honorary Lifetime Guild member and founder of an awful lot of the good work that we're doing in postgraduate sabbatical positions, Chev Chung.
Thanks. We'll now announce the next of our Sabbies winners. That for most creative design. Can't get it over. So for the most creative design, it goes to Kat.
Thanks so much, guys. Just to clarify, I am not Kat. I just did the design. This is also half due to Tash, who's over there. Tash Rigby, give her a wave. She did the banner. She did the cardboard cutout. So we'll share this, yeah? Cheers.
And now, on to the winner of the election for the position of VP Post-Grad Taught. Ooh, nearly stumbled on that. The candidates are... I need Caitlin's full name. Caitlin Rankin-McCabe and Tessa Crossley. Your newly elected VP Postgrad Tour is Caitlin Rankin-McCabe.
And the world comes alive, and the world
say thank you for all your votes, and hopefully I'll do a good job next year. Thanks.
We're now going to cut to a short break, so time to get another drink, bathroom. I'm sorry, we'll be back.
I want to keep
Welcome back to the XTV Hub. We're just going to quickly announce the Sabby Award winners. So, most creative design was Kat Kamari. Most engaged subject was sociology, philosophy. I can't speak.
Philosophy.
It's getting wild. And anthropology. Most engaged society was clarinet choir, and most engaging game/event was Hayden Cooper's Bed.
Okay, so we're joined now by some great campaigners who've been on the hill all week campaigning. How has it been?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been really fun. You know, it's quite hard to find a balance really between sort of approaching people and then sort of just sort of waiting for people to have a look at your campaign and, you know, just take a look at the t-shirts and the banners and stuff, and then just get involved really, just have a nice chat and things. But obviously you don't want to sort of disrupt them. No. And, you know, if, say for example, it's a rainy day and they want to have a rush, you know, you can understand that perfectly. So yeah.
Yeah. It's seen it. Well, it's just been so up and down, hasn't it? 1 minute it's really hot, the next minute it's freezing cold.
It's true.
Crikey, what a nightmare. So what's your favourite? What's been your favourite parts of campaigning so far? I guess we'll start with you, Annabelle.
Probably today, just kind of like the final few hours. It was really nice. Like all the campaigners were like together in the middle of the hill, which was good because we've kind of been spread up and down for them this week. So yeah, definitely that vibe was really nice this afternoon.
Yeah, I really enjoyed actually. Obviously we worked in one of the teams together, but I think interacting with the other campaign teams as well, because everyone's got on really well, even though it's a competition. That's been really nice as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think it's just talking to people who are interested as well, because, you know, at the end, this is the student guilds and they do want to represent students. So it's nice to see a lot of people enthusiastic about the campaign and things like that.
Yeah.
Great. Have you had any student hostility towards you on the hill?
I think it's not necessarily, well, we had one today that I think it was actually Welfare Jess approached, and they said we don't vote, something about not liking democracy, I don't know, but other than that, it's been okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So we're just going to have a quick think about the Sabby Awards. So have you heard of the Sabby Awards themselves?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so the Sabby Awards, which we've just announced the winners of, are awards that are there and they're designed to reflect the engagement of campaign teams such as yourselves, those people that put themselves out to campaign on the hill, things like that. Do you think that there's maybe more that the Guild could do perhaps to recognise the hard work of people that are campaigning who aren't running themselves but are campaigning for other people instead?
I think maybe like a sort of proposed sort of social or something, you know, just to get people together. Also it's nice to socialise with people on the hill. Like, for example, we've been campaigning for Pete. It's nice to see like people for Jim Balshaw and, you know, other people from activities and stuff, because they're in the all same kind of situation as us. So it's nice to speak to other people who are in the same situation, really, and to get people together after this has all ended. I suppose that would be really nice.
I also think as well, like kind of the one problem you have with recognising like the Sabbies and things is necessarily the bigger societies don't perhaps get such a big turnout, because if you've got kind of 400 members, if 200 of them vote, that is quite a good effort. But if you've kind of got a group of 12 and they all vote, then obviously you've got 100%, which is, you know, so I think maybe there should be more recognition of kind of societies who do make an extra effort to make sure that like a lot of people do kind of turn up and vote for them.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about in campaign, now the campaigns say you shouldn't go up to students and talk to them. Have any of your campaigners asked you to do that, or?
Well, we tried like a few things early on in the week. So approaching people, the classic, do you mind if I walk up the hill with you? But I think one of the main strategies this year was a lot of people were just holding the banners, smiling, maybe saying the odd thing, but generally saying read the manifesto online.
Yeah, Pete called it a chill campaign.
And
That's what he wanted.
And have you guys read the manifestos of the people that you voted for?
Yeah,
of course, I definitely did. I think it's important that people do, really, because that's where their points lie, really. That's the most important things about the campaign, is the manifesto itself. So I think, especially as we move towards, 2017, 2018, even, I think like there's a more online focus for sure, and I think people should spend time looking on.
We were discussing that with our panel earlier about the move now towards from people in their first years where it would be being approached down the hill, walk down the hill, can we walk and talk, that kind of thing. It's now being all about the video. How do you guys feel about that? Have there been any particular standout videos for any of you? Any particular things that you've thought, oh, I really enjoyed that just because of the video?
I definitely think there is more of a focus. I know a lot of people, especially kind of the actual candidates, do stress about the amount of views that they get.
Yeah.
I know Pete's been quite concerned kind of all week, just like, just watching, because it does see a lot more people than you would necessarily see on the Hill, because, we're all history students. You don't necessarily have to spend that much time on campus, so you don't actually have to see these people in real life, so it's much easier to just be on Facebook and see their campaign video.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's become more of a thing than kind of walking and talking has.
Yeah, I think definitely with Toby's video last year, obviously that set a massive precedent. It went viral, it was shared by Huffington Post. And I think when you set out and when they make their videos, there's definitely a push to be the one that gets the most views. And I think it does definitely contribute to winning a lot of, obviously people look at manifestos and that, but the video is a large proportion of votes because it gets out there and it shows people. Yeah.
So we have a think about those kind of things, those different positions. Are there any positions this year for you that just didn't strike out to you? You just didn't see a presence to them? Any particular positions? Was it VP activities, president? Any particular positions that you thought really stood out for you or didn't stand out?
I think it's always difficult with the postgraduate people who run for DVP and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it is essentially hard for them, because they are targeting the postgraduate students, and you don't often see those run campus, for example. So maybe if they had a more online presence or something, then that could be more beneficial. I don't know.
I think definitely AU this year have been massive on the Hill. I think I've definitely noticed people like Izzy as soon as you walk in. And as you're going up, they're constantly up and down. I think they've got like rugby balls and football, so you really can't dodge them this year. So I think they've really raised the profile of running for a position like that, because I know it went from 2 last year, something like 8 this year. Like there's so many of them. So I think that's really good.
We've kind of seen a massive blow up this year of amounts of candidates running for things themselves. So in previous years there would be maybe 2 or 3 people running for each position, and this year we've seen
up to 8.
8 candidates for president, 8 candidates for welfare and diversity. It's just massive. How do you keep track of people's campaigns, watching them all over Facebook? Do you see them? Do you not see them?
For me, I read the manifestos, had a look on the Facebook pages, but actually being a campaigner on the Hill, I made sure that I went up to quite a few of them and said, well, tell me your policies. And I think I generally go for, who I'd seen the most and who had been very approachable, talk through their policies and what I liked. But I do think the Hill presence is still important, actually, going back to what you said earlier. Because, particularly seeing Izzy coming into campus, and then Jim was usually outside the forum, and Kat and Bryony and Jess all with the banners. So a couple of different strategies, but a lot of visibility, and I do think that is.
Speaking of how many people they are doing it, is there any particular brands or campaigns that really stood out to you as just really on it?
I think Bryony, she did really well this week, she had a tea stand in the forum, she had small leaflets that she was handing out with her manifesto, which I really liked as an idea, and then her banner was huge. I think she really nailed it this week.
I think Shades also had a dance competition going on, and that was quite exciting to see, actually. Yeah.
I would say, Shades and her campaign team. I had a couple of 8:30s, and then I had a 5:30, and I think there was always someone there with the bright orange t-shirts. So I think they put in a lot of work for visibility this week, I would say,
Did you attend any of the debates? Been so engaged this year in seeing these new positions and their advertising?
Yeah, sure. So the 2 roles, you've got postgrad research, postgrad talk, because of the 2 different types of postgraduate positions and students which are at the university. And we obviously had an uncontested position for postgrad research, which was just Malaka on her own. He also ran for NUS delegate and student trustee. And that role was predominantly for those who are involved with research. And it's basically ensuring that the postgrad students get representation, whereas the postgrad taught one, which was a contest between Tessa Crossley and Caitlin McCabe, Caitlin won, was similar but for the other sort of section of the postgrad ones. So they're two part-time roles as opposed to the full-time roles, which the rest of the SABs are. Yeah.
So what sort of benefits do you see in having very specific VP postgrad roles this year versus previous years?
So a lot of people had previously voiced concern over the fact that because they're such a different method of teaching and a different sort of way of life to the undergrad experience, that there wasn't enough representation in the regular SABs. And it was done to split into the two ones with the part-time roles as a sort of trial run this year, and they're hoping that this will be more effective in just one singular full-time role.
I'm really sorry, we're going to have to cut to the stage now because the VP Education is being announced.
Your newly elected Vice President Education. Bri Loveless.
Under the sea. Nobody beat us, fry us, and eat us in fricassee. We what the land folks loves to cook. Under the sea, we after hook up. We got no troubles. Life is the
Firstly, I want to say thank you to Helena and Matt. You guys are genuinely brilliant, and you deserve to win this, like, every bit, if not more than me. I'm going to cry, oh my gosh. And yeah, Pete and Rose, you were amazing. And all my friends who backed me, I'm still like, why are you backing me? Like, I'm really not this great. And Harry, I cried at you, and I was like, I can't win, I can't run. And you were like, I still believe in you, and it was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it away with you. Well done, Brian. And could we also have another round of applause for Helena and Matt, who fought so hard as well, had amazing campaigns. Well done, everyone. So who's next?
Time this week, haven't you, looking at quite in depth at VP activities?
Yeah. So I interviewed Alistair Gibbs mainly, and took a close look at the Charlie and Becca's manifestos.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting having such a kind of a smaller group of candidates compared to like sort of the welfare and diversity side of things. It was really interesting to see them all in the debate, especially Becca and Alistair and Charlie. They all got along. It was a very tame debate. They got along very well.
Anybody shine out for you as you think?
Personally, Alistair was very hard to phase while interviewing him. He was very on it with everything. His point of refurbishing the Lemmy was, of course, a very popular point to his manifesto.
Popular but contentious, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, it was.
Because there was a lot of argument, wasn't there, around society spaces, around the Lemmy as being a venue that's used by groups like Body Sock and other societies that need that space. And obviously Alistair's promises for a new refurb Lemmy. How is that going to balance out with that, do we think?
Well, the Lemmy is overdue refurbishment. It's normally every 5 years, and it's been 6 years, so it is quite a big thing that kind of needs to be done. Another point that he had about the Lemmy was he wanted to open it another night during the week, so not just Saturday, which would be quite an ambitious thing to take on, considering you've got Unit 1 and Timepiece kind of dominating during the weekdays, especially like with all the clubs. So that's probably a very contentious issue, especially on his manifesto.
Cool. Let's have a little think about then Becca's campaign. So, any particular points of Becca's manifesto that really stood out?
Becca knows it all in terms of A&V. She worked in A&V and put the part of her manifesto about getting sort of extra credits and kind of knowing when students volunteered and took part in societies. It's something that already exists, which she kind of found out halfway during the week. But she has all the know-how if she does win the role, which she can use to a full extent to make her manifesto
So quite close competition. We think it will be between Alistair, Charlie, and Becca.
Yes, I think definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
So right now, VP Welfare has been announced, so
we're just going to cut straight down.
Your newly elected Vice President Welfare and Diversity is Kat Karamani.
I'm kind of hyperventilating right now. But thank you so much, everyone who voted, and thank you to all the other campaigns who've been Thank you for believing me, and I hope I can be a really good VP while friend of ours too. Thanks, guys.
Massive congratulations to all our candidates.
Hello. Well, it's been said hundreds of times today, and quite rightly so. Congratulations to everyone. It's been an incredible week, as always, even for us, and we're watching us watching all of you stand on a hill trying to get us out of our jobs. And so it's great. You all should be incredibly proud. First up, we've got the Sabbies, and I'm here to award the award for Best Campaign Manager. Best Campaign Manager goes to Pete Anderson.
Cheers, team. Cheers, team.
And now for the one we've all been waiting for, the VP activities. So the candidates are Becca Hanley, Charlie Smee, and Alistair Gibbs. And your newly elected Vice President of Activities is Becca Hanley.
So, best birthday ever, guys. I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody in my team. You guys have been absolutely amazing this week. I love every single one of you, especially Laurel, who was my campaign manager. I love you, babe. You are absolutely amazing. And thank you to everybody who voted. I know I have some incredibly big shoes to fill.
Welcome back. So as you just seen there, the Welfare and Diversity candidate has been announced as Kat Karamani, and VP Activities has been announced as Becca Hanley. So we're joined now by Chris, who we met earlier. So obviously two very big positions there: Welfare and Diversity, VP Activities. So you've been the station manager of XTV before. How are those positions, do you think, going to affect the line of work of societies and things like that they're going to be working with?
Well, I mean, I think straight away, like some of the issues that have been raised this week about things like membership fees and stuff like that, particularly among like the presidential candidates, I think the VP activities, despite from my position as a student leader last year, really, I didn't really think there was any problems or anything. I think at least there needs to be some call to like look at like how much money societies are getting, if only because clearly some people have an issue with it, and at least that issue needs to be addressed. I think with the day-to-day running of societies, I think more the role is to promote societies that don't have that much money, look at how money's distributed, etc., etc. But on the whole, I don't think unless we have substantial kind of like financial changes or anything, that the sort of day-to-day life from my experiences of things like X Media are going to change, especially when every candidate ran on a pro X Media platform, etc.
Yeah. So we're just going to cut back now to the announcement of AU president. So we're going to go back to the debate right now.
We wouldn't be in this position without all our friends, not just in Expression, but in X Media, X Tech, all of you guys. So we just wanted to say thank you very much. And have a wonderful night. This is a surprise.
But yeah, just to echo that we wouldn't be here without the at least 50 plus people who work with us on a regular basis, but we also wouldn't be here without all of you who vote and turn out and run. Without you, there would be no elections. So thank you all ever so much for doing all that you do.
Well in, lads.
Oh,
That's mine. That would have been awkward. Would you like your one? And then before we move on to the announcement for the next Athletic Union president, I'd just like to echo what both James and James just said there. Thank you to everybody who's campaigned so hard this week, and thank you to everybody involved in the guild, whether you're a society, whether you're involved in the SABs already, or you're part of the comms team. Everyone's worked so hard to make this such a fantastic week. We'll now announce the much awaited award of the evening, in fact, in my opinion, the most important, the election of the Athletic Union president. Your candidates are Bibet Gurung, Jim Balshaw, Alex Harper, Emily Robinson, Imo Wade Palmer, Izzy Cole, and Ron. Your newly elected Athletic Union president is Jim Balshaw.
Hello and welcome back. So the AU president has just been announced and it is Jim Balshaw, but we are currently joined by Bryony Lovelace, who is the recent appointed new VP Education.
How are you feeling?
Like, I have no words. Like, honestly, I think it's going to take a while to sink in. Obviously, I'm absolutely thrilled, but also, like, very aware of the role that I've got to fill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anything you're particularly excited to get started on?
I'm really excited about handover. Actually, I'm really excited about working in the SAB office with the current SABs and getting to know my fellow SABs as well. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
You've got the new team: Kat, Becca, you.
Yeah, and president still to be announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, do you mind if we take a few moments just discuss some of the policies
Yeah.
that you're looking to implement next year?
Yeah, of course.
So I guess the biggest one that that kind of strikes me is 2-week January exams. How are you going to do it?
So obviously timetables are set. It's something that's in Kat's manifesto as well. So timetables are set like 3 years in advance or something crazy. But what I'd love to do is what I meant by that was have a review of student exams and how exams are run. So I'd love to see chat to students about, like, do you want teaching in third term? How would you feel about that? Would you like to split things up? And just have a review of that, because obviously it's not currently working effectively the way it is.
Great. So you mentioned that you're looking forward to working with Harry.
Yes.
Cool. What sort of stuff are you looking of his this year you're going to be able to build on for next year for people into 2017-18?
I mean, the biggest thing will be the hubs. I don't know if you guys know about it, but that's the project that he's been pushing forward, having hubs in Amory, Harrison, I think Queens as well. So that will obviously be a project that I'll take on and kind of work with as well.
Have you got any other new projects that you're looking to implement that maybe weren't on your manifesto?
I mean, I'm sure they'll come up. I'm sure, honestly, I'm still slightly stunned that I've won, and also I'm sure that there'll be challenges that I haven't foreseen yet and things that I won't foresee until I get to the role.
Absolutely.
So your hashtag for the campaign is #TogetherWeAre. How are you gonna
achieve that in your next
So
year?
yeah, hashtag Together We Are was about hashtag Together We Access, Resource and Engage. So those are like the 3 points of my manifesto. So yeah, hoping that we'll achieve that, helping students to access their education, resource their education and engage with it as well.
Great. Well, we're now going to head down for the big one. It's almost time to find out who our next guild president will be. So we're going to cut to downstairs as we cut to Kobe Gladwin and find out who that next president is going to be.
Ed Mudd, Helena Brenner, Pete Gillibrand, Shoma, and Kane Davis. Please put your hands together. Next year's Students' Guild president is Shades.
Oh my God. Okay. As you can see, my freaking amazing team is right here. Woo! And couldn't have been possible without this team. Amazing people. Oh, me for the t-shirts. Oh my God. I use you designs. Yeah, and Toby, thank you. Or as we call him, Tobias Gladwinator. Yeah, so thank you for the inspiration, and I hope I live up to this. Thank you.
Lastly, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to every single one of you for putting so much time and effort into this week and making it a great election. And congratulations again to all the winners. Tonight has been a huge success, a record-breaking year for our student democracy, and I would like to ask you all to join me in a huge round of applause to the students who have made this all possible and the amazing campaigns that have developed this week.
I'll take to live TV. Well, that's it. We now know who our guild president is. It's going to be Shades for the next year. How exciting. That's it. We know who our full SAB team is now. Let's just have a quick recap. So we've got Brian as VP Education, Kat, who we've joined by now as Welfare and Diversity, Becca Handley as VP Activities, AU President Jim Balshaw, and of course Shades as our guild president. So let's turn to you now then, Kat. How are you feeling? You're going to be our new Welfare and Diversity.
I'm very much in shock, but really excited and can't believe it, but so grateful. So grateful.
And Becca's come to join us now. Well done and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Birthday present.
I know. Could have gone very badly. But it's fine. It's fine. It's
How
all
are you
fine.
feeling? I guess it's the biggest birthday party you're ever going to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Downstairs in
pretty
DH1.
much. What more could a girl ask for?
So I guess, how are you both feeling? Are you feeling prepared to take on the roles?
Probably not yet.
Probably not yet.
Once the handover's done, hopefully.
Yeah. I don't think it's sunk in that I've won at the
has.
moment.
It's been a long
But that's
week.
it.
It's
That's
finally
it.
sunk
You're
No.
the Sabs. How exciting!
All female.
Yeah. Apart from Jim.
It's the same.
Apart from
It's like history repeats itself. What's it next year? It's going to be all boys again next year. Maybe we can only have an all boy or all girl Sab team.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it is. Apart from Jim. So, I guess the first questions are: how are you going to implement some of your manifesto points? So I guess we'll start with you, Kat. What are you most excited to get a chance to finally implement?
Well, I'm really excited to see how I can offer subsidies for societies, students who can't afford it. So I think it's really important that everyone gets an equal chance no matter what their income is, what their background is. So that's something that I'm really keen to get
Definitely.
going.
What about you, Becca?
I'm quite excited for the online crowdfunder. It was something that got a really good response on the Hill. I was like, yeah, this is one of my ideas, and everyone's like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
Yes, I guess, Becca, in the debate you were kind of hounded a bit, I guess, about your volunteering.
Yes. That wasn't.
I guess
Yeah.
it didn't. I guess that didn't affect the vote, did it?
Apparently not.
Apparently, Exeter wants a volunteering law.
Yeah. They shall have one.
They
It's going to
shall
be
have
great.
Is there any points now? So you've looked at your manifesto, now you've won, you're thinking, oh my god, how am I going to actually make that happen?
I don't think so.
Well, one of them, which I kind of stopped saying after Tuesday, because I was like, actually, I've changed my mind, was a freeze on housing prices, because I was like, I'd rather go with the housing cooperative, which is already in place, because that's more achievable. So I stopped saying that after Tuesday. I was like, you know what? Let's see if they'll vote for me without that.
There you go. It's
And they
XTV,
did.
it's XTV confessions time.
Welcome to the studio.
So, Becca.
Yes.
So you're going to be working closely with Tristan,
Yes.
I imagine, over the next couple of
Yay.
weeks.
I'm so excited.
I guess the biggest thing is X-Fest.
I am.
Are you going to do it again next year, do you think?
So according to Tristan, it's been on a 2-year contract, so it's definitely going to happen next year.
Great.
I think the thing to look is how it goes this year. Obviously, we're all hoping it's going to be a huge success. I think it will, but we'll get lots of feedback, decide what students want more next year, because there's always somewhere to improve, and we'll go with that.
Great. What about you, Kat? Working with Alec?
I mean, I was on his campaign team last year. We're pals.
There you
I'm
go.
DVP Wellbeing at the moment, so we always have meetings. It's gonna be great.
There you go. Great.
So are there any points on your manifesto that out of everything you're like, I just cannot wait to really get stuck into that, get it happening, make it happen?
I think just all of it.
All of it.
I can't wait.
It's exciting and having like a checklist of everything and be like, you know what, I've actually achieved that. That's cool.
You're literally like, yeah.
Cool. So, Becca, your guild crowdfunding page.
Yes.
How are you going to do it? Are there not loopholes to jump through?
So the university already has one called Hubbub.
Right.
And I was going to work really closely with them to sort of get our own one done up.
Yeah.
Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. There are going to be lots of legal loopholes
Great.
to jump through that I'm probably not aware of at this point. But I'm sure
That's what the
we'll
summer's
take it
for,
in there.
right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Kat, the bit that I'm dying to find out about is the nap room.
The nap room.
Where's it going to be, and how do I get there?
I've been having some meetings already.
Already?
Yeah. And the most likely place it looks like at the moment is Washington Singer, because they have several rooms where some of them aren't actually used. So that's what's looking good. But we'll see. More meetings.
So is
gonna
it
occur.
just, are you thinking one nap room, a nap room for every building?
We'll have like one room to start with, see how it goes down,
Build
and
it
then
up.
we can expand it.
Great.
Dream.
I'm really interested about the veggie and vegan cafe.
Yeah, so with the new hub system, we can make suggestions. So I was like, you know what, that's something so important. So many extra people are veggie or vegan, so why not?
Okay, now I've got a question.
Go on.
If you were to pick any of your competitors' manifesto points and you were going to slap them on your own, which one would it be?
Oh yeah, I know this one actually. 'Cause when I read it, I was like, oh damn it. It was Hope Hughes, because she talked about RID, which is the Reporting Information Directory, and she was like, there should be a follow-up service, and I was like, that is a real.
What
good
is
point.
RID?
So basically, have you heard of WID? Basically, there's loads of information directories on Exeter Guild, and RID is if you've been harassed or something, you can report it either anonymously or you can say your name if you want.
Cool.
And at the moment it's just reporting, whereas Hope was like there should be a follow-up service, which I totally agree
Fair
with.
enough. Really quickly, Becca, what about you? What would it be that you would...
I don't know at the moment. I sort of had tunnel vision for the campaign. I tried not to focus on anybody else's manifesto points, just to be like, this is what I want. Please vote for me on this, and sort of I get stressed out very easily. I didn't want to get worried about everyone else's points. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thanks,
well done
guys.
again.
Thanks, guys.
We out.
So I think we're gonna read some tweets now. So, Nice Bear said, I've never been more terrified or nervous in my life. Hashtag Exeter vote.
Oh, crikey. Anna Dennett, I may be on my year abroad and it may be 6 a.m. in Adelaide, but Expression FM is on and I'm buzzing for the Exeter votes results. Come on, Bri. Well, there's a happy girl right there.
Hashtag give non-British names a chance. For the love of peace, you did classics. At Toby Gladwin. Hashtag Exeter vote. That's from Guysy A. Bano. That's a really hard name.
Okay. Oh, we've got one here. Are we going from all male back to all female this year? Looks like it. There we go. Charlie Evans, well done, Shays, first international Sab, and didn't call herself a feminist. Good for you. We've got Laurie, all-female Sab team, first international Sab, proud of Exeter. Sherv, Exeter elected 6 racially diverse female Sabs, so proud. Well, there we go, how excited. Now, we're going to be joined now by some members of Becca Hanley's campaign team. So we're joined by Hands Up for Hanley. There we go, so who have we got here? If you'd like to just introduce yourselves. Oh, the celebrations are pouring in.
There are party hats and ciders, and it's going to get wild.
I've got a party hat.
Hi.
If you want to just go along, just have a introduce yourselves. Over there.
Hi, I'm Laurel.
I'm Ginger Tom.
Ginger
on the
Tom.
hill.
I'm Jeremy.
Sorry. And how are you feeling? Becca's won.
Brilliant.
Really good.
So happy for her.
Relieved, happy.
She really deserves it.
Yeah.
Really
100%.
deserves it.
I think we don't look enthusiastic enough simply because
Exhausted.
we've been like.
Yeah.
He looks pretty enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Both enthusiastic and broken at the same time, I think, are what springs to mind.
It's been a long
So,
week.
we had a little chat earlier with Becca about her policies. What is it that you're most excited about to be able to be implemented from Becca's policies?
I'm really excited about the alumni network. She wants to kind of really have a strong connection between alumni of societies and bringing them back to give talks and give donations, and I think that can be really successful, like especially like I'm a really big part of Expose. I think that'll be such a cool thing for people trying to get into journalism, to have people who are successful in the field coming back and giving. I'm leaving, but I would love that.
So how have you found Forum Hill?
Manic. Absolutely manic. And really nice.
Best response you've had from a student?
Oh,
Rudest, funniest.
I think it's got to be. This actually came on the first day when I said, I was handing out Haribo's. I was like, do you want some sweets? They could see, the Hands Up for Hanley T-shirt, and they were like, yeah, sure. Allow me to do my spiel all the way up the hill, and then said, oh yeah, sorry, I'm part of one of her rivals' campaign teams, and I was like,
they're nicking your spiel.
I know, the spiel was not okay.
No.
Although my housemate was on our campaign team as well, and she said to someone, oh, do you mind if I walk with you? And someone said, I'd really rather you didn't.
Oh,
so I
God.
enjoyed that sass, got to be straight with them.
Did I see rightly earlier? Did I see you with the musical instruments out?
Yeah, that was the thing.
Was that you lot?
That was Becca's personal band for the campaign.
Yeah, personal band. Oh, crikey. And how was that? Were you playing the trumpet in anyone's faces?
I tried to avoid that. That might be negative publicity.
Yeah.
But no, we played a couple of bangers. Pie in the USA, Wonderwall.
Crikey. So I guess what I want to know is, did Becca have an anthem?
I think today it was 22.
Yeah,
22.
Yeah, it was
She
22.
turns 22 today.
Yeah.
It's her birthday today, hence the party hat. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of Taylor Swift going on today, especially.
Great. How do you think she felt campaigning on her birthday? I mean, I saw her earlier, and she was there with her brownies, and she looked like she was having a banger of a birthday.
Wow.
Not feeling 22.
It gave her an excuse to make cake, didn't it? So she was very happy about that.
Yeah,
3.5 kilograms worth of cake.
That was a lot of
3.5 kilograms.
That was just the mix, let alone how much it actually turned into brownies.
Oh,
We
wow.
made a lot of cake.
Crikey, did any of you get roped into making cakes?
No, actually.
I didn't actually.
No.
We got away with that.
Oh, wow.
So you
We
swapped
escaped
cakes.
that.
You swapped cakes for a trumpet.
That was the one, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Have you had a favourite day of the campaign so far?
Today.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's been a highlight.
Cool. If you could change one thing about the campaign, what would you change?
Oh, come on.
The colour of my hat.
Clashes with the ginger.
Yeah, I'd go orange and keep the flow
Well,
going.
I'd say it kind of goes quite well. The
like
pinky
the
ginger
little,
vibes.
The bobble is good. I do like
Yeah.
the bobble. Yeah, I've had a lot of unicorn comments
Great.
today, so I changed the colour of the hat.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Let's just say one more big well done to Becca.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Go
We
celebrate.
will. Thank you for having us on.
Great. So obviously we had Becca's campaign team there. We're now joined by our new AU president. Welcome, Jim.
Hello.
Are you excited?
I'm speechless, honestly.
Speechless?
Oh yeah, I've just been on the hill most of my life this week. It's paid off. I'm just so happy. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Is there any points now on your manifesto you're like, I just want to get going with this, I want to make this happen?
All of them, really. I think the gender gap's a big one for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sorry.
Oh, look.
I'm sorry.
So you find out you're the new AU president. Who's the first person you call?
Well, I texted my parents.
Oh.
I left them in limbo for about 10 minutes. So I was like, oh, God, I should probably text them. But yeah, I checked my phone. I just had a absolute splurge of messages. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not usually this nervous. But
Are you excited to be working with the other Sabs? Excited to be working with the girls?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, typically, if anyone knows me, I lived in an all-girls house basically the first 2 years of my uni life. Yeah, I know, right? Look at me.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the campaigns are quite different for AU president.
Yeah.
What would you think it was that made you stand out? Why did people vote for you?
I really don't know.
What was it?
No, I can't. I spent a lot of time with the other five on the hill, and reading through each other's manifestos. That we had a lot of similar points. I guess.
Yeah.
I really don't know which one, if any of them, took
What
me further.
What was the camaraderie like between you guys as campaigners? So I guess you're all there, and I guess a lot of you. I suppose they're going to be friends. Like, you're all coming from very similar circles, I guess. What's it like campaigning against your friends?
Well, it was like I think Babek put it up in a picture. It was like frenemies.
Yeah.
It was honestly, it was great fun. All of them, all their campaign teams are just absolutely lovely people, and it was an absolute pleasure going against them. Obviously, like, we throw a few jokes each other's way every now and then, but it was always like nice to see them, see how they were getting on. Like, it was just odd because they're in competition with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, just obviously they're all great people. I'm sure any of them would have done like a great job.
Well, you were there at the debate, weren't you, with your notebook ready?
Yeah.
all your statistics inside the book there.
Yeah, I was watching the debate before, because my old housemate Charlie Smee was on there.
Oh right.
I was just getting a bit of prep, and I thought, I got this notebook. I'll just write down any potential facts that might come up.
So while you were on the hill, did you have any interesting student responses? Anything a bit rude or funny?
There was one lady. I walked past. I wasn't even going to approach her. I just walked past her. I think I'd sort of turned to look at her, and she just went, "Shut up." I was like,
"Oh, crikey!"
All right, okay, but that was honestly it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I was just like, "Sorry, please just consider voting for me. I'd really appreciate it."
Any favourite moments? Any highlights?
Walking up and down the hill dancing to a beatbox, that was quite fun. Just with all the other, just a mix of people. I mean, I'm a terrible dancer, but it may have paid off. Yeah, no, it was great fun. Honestly, just the whole week. I'm absolutely shattered now. I've walked up that hill so many times today, and this week in general. But yeah.
I can hardly make it to the
Great.
gym. So I'm very impressed.
I've probably lost about 5 kilos in weight.
Yeah. Well, I guess just a mega congrats to you, Jim.
Thank you.
I hope you're excited to get started.
I am very much so. Just,
and thank you for joining us this evening.
You.
Go on, go celebrate.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Right, so we should read some more tweets. See you soon.
Crikey. 2015 Deja Vu, Gal Power 2.0, hashtag Exeter Vote.
So Expose News has said, tonight has been a huge success, says Toby, hashtag Exeter Vote.
Shades has put them in the shades. Thanks to Expose comment section there. That's a classic expose right there.
Classic expose.
Oh, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, so how do we feel?
Crikey. So I guess that's it again. It's an all-female SAB team this year.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Apart from the AU president, who's the guy, I'm happy that we've got more girls.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think also they are the best people for the role. Like, it's not just because about they're women, but it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's been quite a different kind of campaign this year, hasn't it? Like we've seen the move, everything going online, a lot more. Like the videos being so prominent, and actually, I'd say this year seems to have been quite an invested time in in people's actual manifestos, which is quite exciting as well. And now we are joined by our new president, Shades.
All hail the president.
Welcome, Shades. How are you feeling? Our first international SAB.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really nice.
Crikey. So.
Did you expect it?
No.
No.
I
Wow.
had a good feeling about tonight, though.
Yeah. That's good. What's your favourite bit of the campaign?
The debate.
Yeah. The debate.
I enjoyed that.
And I've got to say, Shade, you had a great video.
Oh, thank you.
It was so good.
Grant, yeah, man. That person, he's a star.
Yeah.
He's great.
Do you think that might have been what did it for you? Do you think having such a polished, great professional video, which was definitely on the same level as Toby last year, if not higher? It was incredible. All I can say is, Shades,
say that.
Shades, that CGI that you had going on with the people lifting up, and that was over my head.
Oh.
Absolutely crazy.
I think it was. You can't pin it down on if it was the video or if it was anything else. I think my team was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
They were up and around always. The flashy orange shirts, they didn't mind them, and they were just talking to people. I think that's what worked.
Yeah.
You got any points on your manifesto that now you're like, let's get going, let's get this done?
Ooh, A&V Finance. Let's
Yeah.
get this done. Yeah. Sort people's lives out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So obviously, are you third year?
Third year.
Third year English.
English language and lit.
Crikey, you must have a lot of writing to do, a lot of reading to do before.
I actually have a literature review due in for Thursday.
Oh my lord! How have you done it, Shades?
Library.
So, are you going to be having a think about it now, or are you going to kind of let the degree happen, then have a think about how you're going to implement those policies?
I feel like I need to set my priorities straight. So for now, degree,
Yeah.
and then get into it starting June when dissertation's done.
But tonight, don't think about the degree. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Yeah, possibly.
No, absolutely. Are you going to have a little sit down with Toby Gladwin over some tea?
Over some tea.
Over some,
Maybe some other beverage.
Some other beverage. What would be your beverage of choice, Shades?
I'm more of a coffee person. We both like a good Americano.
Coffee person. Well, there we go. That's insider knowledge.
Inside scoop from XTV.
There we go. How exciting. So you mentioned about your campaign team, how grateful you are for your campaign team.
Yeah.
I guess, is there any favourite moment that any of your campaign team ever reported back to you? Anything that was particularly funny? Any particular highlight?
I think it was probably just when, like, every 4:30 when we'd finish campaigning, they'd just watch me sit down.
Yeah.
Because I'd been standing from 8:30 to 4:30, and they just watch me enjoy that moment of placing my butt on a seat and just being like, yes. So just that. I think that was just funny every day.
Do you think there was a headline policy that really won it for you, or do you reckon there was just a whole combination of things that...
I think things just fell into place. There wasn't a headline policy.
Get your shades on.
So in the expose,
worked.
you summed up your manifesto in one sentence, which was enhance the university experience for all students, reduce bureaucracy and guild procedures, and make Exeter safe and inclusive community. Can you elaborate on that? Why you put that in one sentence?
Why that one sentence is because inclusivity is a big deal for me. Yeah. Everyone should feel safe and belonging, and as you know, international students are some people who I've represented this year, and I think every now and again there are things that happen which make people feel unsafe. Just want to take that feeling away, and just, I don't know, as my video says, I'll be making you smile.
Yeah. Are you excited to get to work with the other Sabs?
Oh, so excited. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great, aren't they? What a great team we've got.
Definitely.
Really a great team.
More girls this year we were talking about, which we think is a good thing.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Oh, great. Well, I guess if there's one thing then that you could say to everybody who's voted to you, if there's one thing that you can say, what would it be?
Thanks for getting your shades on.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Shades.
Thank you so much
Our
for
new
your
guild
time.
president. How exciting.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
wow.
so much.
What a crazy night it's been. What a whirlwind.
Well, should we go over who's
Goodness
won?
me. Yeah, from NUS delegates to student trustees, all the way through our VPs and our president.
Right, so we'll start from the top. Guild President, Shades,
Great.
congratulations.
Working with, our AU president, Jim Balshaw.
Our VP Activities is Becca Hanley.
Welfare and Diversity, Kat Karamani.
VP Education, Bryony Lovelace.
VP Postgraduate Research will be Malaka Schweik.
VP Prosgad is Caitlin Rakin Maccabi.
DVP International is Sophie Stieglitz.
And should we our NUS delegates, Harry Reeves, Shades, Malaka, Charlotte O'Haran.
Student trustees, Talin Aslanian, Malaka Schweik, Zara Chowdhury and Jack Hinson.
Our DV campaigns winner was Kalma Gopal.
DVP Wellbeing, David Pugh.
And DVP Sustainability, Cora Hurley.
Well, that's it. We know who we've got representing us for 2017-18. So obviously there will be, towards the end of the year, there'll be another set of elections which will go for, there's some other DVP positions. Then there's the student representatives. There's all of the shadow council roles within the guild. So if you want to get involved and work with that great team, there's lots of opportunity to do so.
Yeah. So we have been XTV, and this is the Exeter Vote. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tara.
And I've been Reese.
And we hope you've had a good night. We certainly have.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Bye.